Welcome to Lap of the World. I'm Richard, this is my wife Liz, and we've just driven across the country from Knoxville, Tennessee to San Francisco, California to attend NS Expo 2018. Now that we've made it, it's time to party with 200 of our closest friends on the California coast. Good morning and welcome to day one of NS Expo 2018 official. I'm currently headed to Thunderhill Raceway from our hotel in Willows, California, and you'll note the distinct absence of one Liz. That's because she went ahead of me this morning. I think got picked up at about 6:20 to go and help with registration and check-in at the track, and let me sleep in a little bit. So in appreciation, I have also with me, in addition to the normal necessities for a track day, I have one Grande Americano in a thermos. I figured that was only appropriate after all of our coffee failing yesterday. I don't think we ever actually made it to anywhere that served a proper cup. So hopefully that'll make her morning a little bit easier. But for now, I'm going to put you guys down so I can get the rest of the way to the track, get the car emptied out, get set up, get to the driver's meeting, you know, track day routine. Thunderhill Raceway Park. Over 2,500 miles from Lap of the World headquarters, it's the furthest we've driven to any track to date. And spoilers, it's awesome. An asphalt roller coaster nestled in the undulating hills just outside of Willows, California, Thunderhill opened in 1993. Its construction driven by the closure of Riverside International Raceway and with seeming risk to Laguna Seca and Sears Point. Since then, the facility has thrived and added 2 expansions. The version of the course we're driving today was completed for the 1995 season and is just short of 3 miles in length. Thunderhill plays host to this year's combined NSX and ITR Expo track event. That means that over 2 days, I'll be passing or pointing by an amazing collection of Honda Acura's best drivers' cars as we celebrate using these machines as intended. The cars in attendance ranged from bone stock to full race and everything in between. Acura even brought its own toys in the form of the NC1 development mule you may have seen on the Nürburgring, and their class-winning Pikes Peak car. For now, though, let's see if we can figure out Thunderhill East.
Hey, you in an advanced group?
Yeah.
Would you take me out?
I have no idea what I'm doing. Never been here before.
Me either.
You're welcome to ride around. You have to excuse me narrating the entire time, though. Find our way to grid.
How many track days you did with this car?
Probably 30 or 40. Or events anyway. I don't know about days total.
Wow.
Alright, so Thunderhill Raceway. I'm going to try and figure out where we're going here. Blend line goes on forever. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can drive to the cones here. That's blind. Okay. Straighten. Turn in. This is the bypass. So this, if I remember correctly, you kind of put mid-track and go over the hill. Yeah, okay. That'll be entertaining going faster. track goes there.
Right there.
That'll take some learning there. That's blind track there. This one, they're saying we're gonna drift out mid-turn, double apex. That's two distinct turns. I don't think that's a double apex. Still have no idea what the line is through that turn. Nope. Let's say the middle of the track there. That one goes much further than I thought. Nope. Sorry. The critter in the track. Don't hit it!
I hit it.
Frickin' rabbits.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's first session in the books. I definitely was using that entirely as a sighting session. Unfortunately, because daily vlogging, I didn't have enough time, I think, clearly, to watch video and really get the turn-in points memorized. I think I knew the direction that the turns went, but this track, I'd say it's got probably one of the steeper learning curves, mainly on account of the, whatever it is, 3 or so, probably pretty fast, but totally blind over crest turns. So that was my entire goal for that session, really, was to kind of figure out at least approximately what I should be doing in those sections at speed. I think I have a better handle on it now, but I've got another hour before my group goes out again, so I'm going to try and utilize that time to rewatch some of the video now with some sort of, real-world tactile context, and see if that won't help make the next couple of sessions a little smoother and hasten the speed of which I'm learning, that I'm learning the track. That, and of course grab some water to stay hydrated. So I will catch you guys in the next session. Alright, so that's 2 sessions down. Thunderhill is definitely a lot of fun once you kind of know where you're going. Although, as I mentioned after the first session, the whole knowing where you're going part is kind of a problem if you've never been here before. And I did do what I said I was going to do, and in the hour break I had between the first session and this session, I watched 2 different videos, one of which was provided actually by the NSX Club of a gentleman who I think is instructing here today in a Lotus, turning some laps quickly and competently. So I was able to see kind of turn-in points and things like that from that video. And then I also watched another video that was a Spec Miata driver, which worked for everything except turn 5 because we're using the bypass turn 5, not the sort of marquee top of the hill death turn 5. But the Spec Miata video was actually more of a talk through, kind of explaining, again, also provide some useful reference points and just kind of noting some stuff to be aware of, like there are a couple turns that are off camber a little bit, and one of them is fairly obvious. The other one's a little bit sneaky, so it's kind of useful to know. But I think definitely picking up the line or kind of the car placement on some of the blind elements is extremely helpful. Again, practicing what I preach and doing this further ahead of time next time will probably be advisable. But this trip I was trying to memorize Hallett before I went and did that. So that was the video I watched before we left, and then I spent my evenings on the road editing video instead of watching Thunderhill video, which is, I don't know. We'll have to figure out a better system for that in the future. But anyway, regardless, 2 sessions down, car's doing fine, no issues there. I'm going to go check tire pressures because I think they were feeling a little squidgy towards the end. I bled them down a little bit after the first session, but it's gotten hotter outside, so probably need a little bit more off. Usually on the Falcons, and if anybody from Falcon watches this and tells me I'm wrong, I'm happy to hear it, but typically with the hot street tires, I'm shooting for like 35 pounds hot pressure. So anyway, I'm gonna go check that and take care of anything else I see, and then I'm gonna grab some lunch. Liz apparently is in charge of lunch tickets, so I think I'm safe. I'll pick you guys up again in the next session. And I totally was on my way to enjoying some scrumptious food at the Thunderhill Grill, sponsored by our friends at Cedar Ridge Fabrication, of course, when I got sidetracked because a seat opened up in this car, which was being driven by the fine gentleman pictured here with Liz and I. He was taking people for rides around the track. Enthusiastic rides. If you'd like to know what that looks like, I've left a link in the corner to someone's video who was clever enough to take a camera with them on that experience. Now, in addition to being insanely fun, riding with someone like Peter Cunningham is a bit like cheating on the exam with respect to trying to learn a track. If you can recalibrate your brain to the sheer velocity and pay attention to the line and braking points of a pro driver or track local instructor, you can sometimes pick up on key differences that can net you big track knowledge gains in a very short period of time. A final session on the first day gave me the chance to try and consolidate everything that I had mentally scribbled down and test things out to the extent that talent and bravery would allow anyway. The first session of the following morning, then, was playtime. I knew from time trial experience that this would be the quick session. After this, the track would get dirty, the air would get hot, and fatigue would start to take its toll. So I fired up the cameras, threw the data logger in the car, and tried to apply what I'd learned. In a way, this session reminded me a lot of my TT days in that we got a little bit of a warm-up lap under a standing yellow to get everything up to temperature, and then it was go time. I'll take the opportunity here as well to thank everyone else in the advanced group for being really great and playing well together. I don't think I was in traffic for any more than one turn at any point in time. Open track ahead, these next 2 laps would be the best indication of how well I'd figured things out. So there you go, a 210 and some change after about a day of practice. Looking at the corresponding NASA TTB and TTC results, which is approximately where my car would be classed, for this configuration I think I'm continuing my trend of not fast, but not bad for just over a day's work. For now though, on to other festivities. Sometime in the late morning on Thursday, the Japanese contingent arrived at the track to look around, and we ended up with a lot of driving talent in one place. Then at lunch, it was time for a parade lap and photo op. Hello again, we join you this time from the pre-grid of Thunderhill Raceway, where we are about to head out for a quick parade lap and photo opportunity at lunch. That'll be followed by a couple more track sessions and a barbecue before we head down to San Francisco. This has been a ton of fun so far. I've kind of figured the track out at this point in time on the second day of the track portion of the event. And Liz has been talking to all kinds of interesting people, volunteering with registration.
Registration and also Acura and real-time racing.
Right, so she works for literally everybody at this point in time, so...
I'm clearly official. I have a radio.
She has a radio. You've been talking to all manner of Honda, Acura dignitaries and notable personalities.
Absolutely. I've been arranging rides with both Nick and James Robinson, as well as Peter Cunningham.
She may or may not have hooked me up there, so I was my brain was turned inside out riding with Peter. I'm trying to talk her into see if she can sneak a ride somewhere, but
I don't think there's any talking me into it. It's just the sheer volume of things they have me doing, and that Peter's fairly his social calendar is very busy.
Yeah. Well, you know. I guess when you're that big of a deal.
Yes. I told him it was this car that was popular, not him.
No, honestly, he's a great guy. It's been totally entertaining.
Yeah. Both Nick and James as well. They're all really nice guys.
Yeah, for sure. But one way or another, it's the worst case. She'll at least get around on a couple of parade laps here. Even if I don't get to try and make her sick on a fast session. But anyhow, we're gonna. Looks like they're starting to move up here, so we're gonna get in line, and we'll pick you guys back up probably in San Francisco at this point. After taking pictures, driving a little more, and eating some great fried chicken, it was time to bid a few people safe travels, say goodbye to our Type R Club friends, give the organizers a round of applause, thank the track workers and management for a great time, and depart for San Francisco and the NS Expo social event. Thunderhill, my 18th track, is an awesome circuit. A course with a steep learning curve, but one that's actually forgiving to learn on. As so often is the case, I leave wanting more. I'm Richard, this is Lap of the World, and we'll see you in the next video, if not at the track.
Yeah, what did you do wrong?
Pushed over the little understeer over the crest there, and then couldn't get it loaded up, so elected to straight off instead of trying to pinch the corner. But